What is going on, guys? Basco Show here, back to Shadow Legends. I had a couple of very busy weeks, guys. I can't believe how busy I was. I didn't even farm stage 30 yet. That's how busy I was. I didn't have time to build a team for this stage. And also I broke my microphone 3 days ago, so I couldn't make videos as well, because I wanted to make this video for the tournament that we have of the event dungeons, but unfortunately I couldn't speak. But now my microphone is working, so let's jump right into it. So what I'm gonna showcase today is the team I come up with, and it's this one over here. These are the main 4 champions, and then on the 5th slot you can bring any champions that you need to make this composition work. I want to also talk about Shu-zen. Okay, so Shu-zen is not a free champion, but you can swap her. If you do so, you need to build your Wukong a little bit different, and you can build another champions here to help Wukong get the stats close to the one I have, because obviously you need to be faster. But if you have, for example, your speed booster and another champion that can place increased attack, you can have your Wukong even like around 200 speed. I'm gonna showcase this soon once we're gonna have the free removal gear, because I wanna use Eostrid to replace Shu-zen, and I'm gonna probably drop her as well and get a champion that can place weaken and do something else as well. So I'm gonna showcase this team soon, I promise. But now let me showcase this team with Shu-zen. So my Yuko is gonna have very low speed. What am I bringing here? I'm gonna bring, for example, a champion that everybody has. I'm gonna start with Marius, and I'm gonna show you what's going on. And let me also talk about the stages, because I'm not doing stage 30 yet. I'm not doing stage 28, because this is the stage where the volcanoes are gonna be in the enemy teams, and it's gonna be harder. So what you should farm if you don't have like the best champion, farm stage 26, because that's where the mythical pieces they're gonna drop. This is the first stage available, or 27. I try to farm 37, obviously. But if you can't get the one shot, go on stage 26. There is nothing wrong. I'm actually gonna show you this page of the event dungeon where I got 2nd place by doing stage 27. I probably drop 6,000 energy or so. I was also doing the dungeon divers, and because I had this 7-second team, I managed to get 2nd place very easily. So don't feel like you gotta do stage 30. There is not a huge difference between these stages in terms of rewards, but to do stage 27 is so much easier than do stage 30. So I'm gonna keep farming this, or I might do 29, but very soon I'm gonna build a team for stage 30. I just wanna wait for the free removal gear so I can rebuild all my champions. Now let's start with the showcase. I'm gonna use Mario at the start, and then I'm gonna swap with another champion, so you don't have to use Marius. You can use many different champions. And the things that I wanna also talk about is the fact that I didn't change my builds on my champions. Okay, I went overkilled. I wasn't supposed to kill the boss. Maybe I changed something on my Marius. I did too much damage to the way, so I'm gonna basically use only the A2 on Marius. I'm not gonna put the increased defense. So like this, and now we're gonna attack her, and that's it, one shot. Okay, so you gotta be sure that your nuke doesn't kill those minions. You have to keep at least one with very low HP. Let's use Reservoir now. I'm gonna use Reservoir because it's another good champion that I have, and it doesn't matter if you do weak hit on her, as far you kill those 3, and you're always gonna kill them, right? You can one-shot the boss because Yugo's gonna target with her. Now obviously I can use him, I could use this champion, I can use all the Sister Blessing champion that I got. I can also go down and use some epics, for example. Yes, even epic champions can do this job. You just need to build them properly. So I'm gonna do the last showcase with Vlad, because he already has enough damage to keep them very low, and he has the right speed, etc. There we go. And then he's probably gonna attack. Oh, he actually attack Kaimar. I don't know why he does that. I haven't figured it out. Maybe because Kama had literally like 1 HP or something like that. Let's have a look if it happens again. Let's see. Okay, no, now you attack this one. Okay, so this game does whatever you want sometimes, but if you want to set up this to be 100% success, make sure you put up a champion that does always the right number, and you know that you're gonna kill the Kaimar, and then doesn't matter which champions stay alive. Yugo's not a weak hit, you're gonna always kill them. Now guys, I'm gonna do one more showcase and then I'm gonna show you the preset and then I'm gonna show you the build. I wanna talk about Firroll in case you have Firroll. Firroll is building protection and he plays 2 buff, so I'm gonna add the 10% extra damage to Wukong, and with his passive I'm gonna add the 30% total between the 20% here and the 10% from the protection set. So because of this 30% extra damage, I found out that I can do this even without using a champion to bring the minions to, like, you know, low HP. So you will see now that my Yugo is gonna do around 1.9 million to Wheaty full HP, and because of that I can basically always get the one shot. So this is the team that I run during the Dungeon Divers and the event tournament, and I had such an easy life because unless Lydia doesn't place the weekend on the boss, it was always a one shot. She can fail to place a weekend on the minions, and let's just say Wheaty doesn't have the weekend, Yugo will target one of the 2 void champions. So there is only the low chance that the leader doesn't place it on the boss. But if this happen, the run is gonna keep going, and eventually Shu-zen and Yukon, they're gonna kill the boss. So it's gonna take me 30 seconds, but I've seen it happening, and most of the time they're done. I don't think I probably failed 1 or 2 run with the 6000 energy that I used. But then what I found out is that I could have swapped Firroll again, take him out and praise Acrisia, one of my favorite champions. I love her, and because I got a special build on her that I use also to solo the Ice Golem Dragon, she's very tanky. So in case Lydia doesn't place the weekend on the boss, Acrisia would just kill the boss by herself. Like, it's always guaranteed. I've never seen this team actually beautiful showcase now. See the boss resist, and look what's gonna happen. Everybody will die, and eventually, see, she skipped a turn. It's fine. Now she's gonna die eventually, because if the Lydia doesn't place the weekend, the boss survives with 10% HP, and Acrisia can do 10% with 1 skill. Alright guys, I talk about my setup. Like I said, it's these 4 champions mainly, and then you bring a champion here that you need to make this happen. I'm gonna show you the preset. The preset is very simple. You got Shu-zen going first. I got it at 412 speed, going first with the A3, boost everything, press decrease speed, and then on the second turn she's gonna use the A2 on the leader spot, Wukong. Or if you have Shu-zen on the leader spot, you need to place Wukong on the second spot. Very important that these 2 are set up in this order, okay? So Shu-zen number 1, Wukong number 2, or Wukong number 1, Shu-zen number 2. And then we got Lydia Gurtup going first actually, and he's gonna place the poison, so Yugo can benefit from this 22.5% extra damage. And then Lydia's gonna do the A2, press the weekend. You don't need decreased defense. Yukon's gonna know 100% defense all the time. I'm gonna show you the build in a minute. You need the weekend. This is super important. And then the 2 buff for the protection set. And then in this case, you know, you have a nuker here. Whichever nuker, just set up to open up with the skill to do damage, or if you have Gurtup set up with the buff skill, so you can have the protected buff and you can boost the damage of Wukong. So this is the setup, and obviously, sorry, Wukong, the most important one, open up with the A2 that is gonna know 50%, and then with the Merciless and the Cat's Case, we're gonna always do 100%. And these are the stats. I'm gonna give you a preview of the stats. It's very slow, but I got a lot of attack and a lot of critical damage. But let's talk about the build on Wukong, because you might think that this is impossible to replicate. Like, this build is insane. So my Wukong is a base Wukong 4-star blessing. I had him like this since like the start, and these 3 pieces at the top, I had them like in my inventory. I wasn't using them. Also, this gauntlet, you can see how is it doesn't have attack percentage, critical rate. Attack percentage is a very ugly piece. The only reason why I kept him is because I think I rolled critical damage on the first attempt. That's why I kept him, and I'm glad because I need this glove now. So what we're looking for are substats: critical rate, obviously, critical damage, attack. That's it. If you have Shu-zen, you don't need speed, so you need those stats. Same things here: attack, critical damage, critical rate, attack percentage, or flat attack, whatever. Try to get obviously attack percentage. On the shield, you only need critical rate and critical damage because you can get the attack. Try to obviously get the ascension to attack. I got all these two top pieces, but I wish this piece was a 6-star piece so I could, you know, waste dust and get this one to attack. I don't feel like I want to waste dust to get this 5-star piece to attack. So the Ganto is Zeal, I show you already, and you get this extra bonus damage when you have 2 Zeal pieces. And then I got this chest place, attack on attack, critical rate, and then I got attack on attack with critical damage here. Now, if you have attack on attack and then you got attack on attack here, you got a bit of attack on these pieces here, you're gonna get to my attack. It's guaranteed because, you know, that's the percentage. So don't feel like, oh, am I gonna reach 8,000? You will reach it if you get attack here, and a bit of attack here, and a bit of attack here. And if I had more attack here, I could be maybe at 9,000. Obviously, you need to have a good accessory as well. But you can see how I got 1 roll on attack here, merciless, 20% attack, could be higher if I had a good piece. And then I got critical damage on critical damage with a bit of attack substance as well. And then I got 2 roll on attack on the banner. And when it comes to banners, guys, if you have a quad roll or a triple roll, just go with that. Unfortunately, I don't have the best. I could give this one to get 41, but I feel like it's not a big difference. Actually, if I ascend this piece and I get attack, you can get 120 attack, I will go higher. That's what I'm waiting for. I need to farm the dust to get to 120 attack here. Yeah, I think this is my best piece because as you can see, this one gave me 73 already goes attack. Maybe this one can actually be the best. I can get 180 attack, but I need this piece on Leorius because I use him in the clan boss and I did that 6% critical rate from this piece, so I'm not gonna give him that. So yeah, eventually I can get very close to 9,000 if I finish this build, and maybe if I have 9,000 attack, maybe I can do stage 30. We will see. Now, because I got Shu-zen, I can drop the critical rate to 70% and I can boost the critical damage as high as possible. Now, I'm not saying it's a, you know, easy build, but it's not an impossible build. I'm not a Kraken and I made it possible. So if you have Shu-zen, try it out. If you don't have Shu-zen, you need to find a bit of speed on these pieces. So it's possible. These are not my best pieces. All I gotta do is probably grab pieces from my best nukers, 1 or 2, you know, here and there, and then build him this champion properly. I know I can do it. For example, if I wanted to build him with 100% critical rate and a lot of attack and critical damage, and also almost 200 speed, so I could use Eostrid instead of Shu-zen, I would have built him like that. And once I put glyphs here, you know, over here, and I send those pieces, I can be at 8,500 attack, even maybe 205 speed, then yeah, I can do it. So I'm gonna showcase this build when I build the Eostrid team. Probably next week, because that's when I think we're gonna get the free removal gear. And this is all I gotta say about the stats and the gear requirement for Wukong. Like I said, 35% your defense from the Merciless, Zeal for the extra damage, and then you need the cut gaze to get to 100% in your defense. I also got this gem, the Dungeon Slayer, I think it's called, 10% extra damage in dungeons, and I got this triangular gem that give me 9% extra critical damage. It's 3% per debuff. Gurto is gonna place 3 poison, so I get 9% here, 9% there, and that's 18%. I have Heaven Cast that's gonna boost my damage by 1% for every buff. I have pretty much 6-7 buff on Wukong, so that's a 7% extra damage. If I would have a 5-star, I would have been 10% and I could do even more damage. And these are the mastery, super important to get Ruthless Ambush, single out, because you're gonna target with the first setup that I've done a champion with less than 40% HP, and then bring it down for the 6% extra damage, and Stocked Fury to get extra damage from the poison. You only need 3 poison to reach the cap, and also Grim Resolve, use it if you wanna do stage 30, because if you use a lot of buff, Volcanos might drop your HP below 50%. You can get this extra 5% damage. And I think also Eostrid will work once you kill the first enemy. You get an extra 3% damage on the boss. And because we already know 100% of the defense with the A2, we don't need Health Smasher, so we're gonna get flawless execution. Now I'm gonna show you the rest of the team. So my Shu-zen just build fast, trying to use it in arena as fast as possible. I have this relic on her. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference. She get an extra 5% turn meter when she uses skill, so maybe she does. Okay, make sure she can go again and put the A2 on Wukong. I got Intimidate Pressure here, but I'm not using any aura. I'm using a arena aura, unfortunately. And these are Air Masteries. Now let's talk about Lydia, super important for the weekend. 9 pieces protection, so we can get 2 buff and get 10% extra damage on Wukong. For the relic, I give you this one because I needed the accuracy. For stage 30, you need about 500 accuracy on your champion. You probably need 430, 450 maybe on stage 27 or 26. So have a look on helladies.com. You got all the stats there. And then I gave a cruelty, even though you don't benefit from the ignore defense because you already ignore 100% of the defense. And these are masteries. When she proc the War Master, she's gonna deplete straight away the bone armor from the boss, because the boss has a 2 stacks on stage 27, so you're gonna do double hit with this and you're gonna drop the bone armor, because otherwise you're gonna get a bit of a damage reduction. With the setup that I had before, when I used Feral, I only attacked the boss with Lydia, so sometimes I had the bone armor there. So keep in mind, if you can get the damage you're missing like that, I don't know, 5% is maybe because of that. So War Master is very, very good on her to counter that. 9 pieces Feral, just because I want to get the one debuff that I place on the boss that's gonna give me the 5% damage. I don't think the poison that you have on your allies will make you deal more damage. I'm pretty sure it's the debuff on the target. Okay, so build him in Feral if you can, and don't worry if you have ugly piece. Obviously you need to have a speed boost, obviously, but the rest just look for, you know, speed and then a bit of accuracy. But this set gives a lot of accuracy as bonus. You can see how I have like HP here, but I still managed to get to 468 accuracy, and I'm also using a relic that gave me 39 accuracy. That's why I got this relic. And then I got cruelty on him as well, but you don't need it. And these are the masteries. I used to use him with the high critical damage in Hydra, so you will be the first champion to get devoured by the heads. That's why I got this last blessing here, but I should change this mastery because I don't use him in Hydra anymore. And then for Feral, I'm gonna just showcase I had the 9 pieces protection if you wanna replicate that. And these are the stats on my Vlad, if you wanna have a look how to do it with Vlad. Razelvark, these are the stats. And these are the stats on Marius. They are all built the same way I use them every day. I hate to change all my gears to do a dungeon, you know, so if you can, keep your builds. I know people have to use Shu-zen slower to do this. I don't want to make my Shu-zen slow because I'm gonna forget, then I'm gonna jump into Lava Arena with maybe her missing the boost, and then I'm gonna lose the fight. That's why I don't want to do this. And yeah guys, that's it. This is my showcase, my guide on this team. If you wanna one-shot the boss at stage 26, 27, use these stats if you have Shu-zen. Otherwise you need 200 speed pretty much, over 1000 attack and over 400 critical damage to get to stage 27. But if you can get to a one shot, jump on stage 26, or have a champions like Acrisia. Actually I forgot to showcase the build on Acrisia. They can solo the boss on the other side. So I got 63,000 HP, 2,500 defense. I also got resistance, but I think the boss has a lot of accuracy. I think you need like 600 resistance to resist the boss. Decent speed. I got this relic that's gonna help me gain turn meter when my allies die, super good. And also I got this amazing gems, so they're gonna allow me to reduce the damage by 40% when I'm by myself, and the boss is not gonna kill me. And these are the masteries on air to be able to kill the boss. It's super important to have life drinker, because if you wanna heal up with her, that's the only way. And she heal up a lot because she does damage by enemy max HP, so even day 1 she can hit by like 20 to 30k. So guys, that's it for this showcase. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope I'm gonna give you some inspiration. but stay tuned for my next video because I'm gonna talk about stage 30. I wanna get obviously to stage 30, and I wanna make sure that I can do it maybe without Shu-zen because not everybody has Shu-zen. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, drop a like to support the channel, share this content to your clanmates if they're struggling to do these dungeons, and let me know in the comment section if you need any help, okay? I mean it, drop me a comment, I'll check as soon as possible. So guys, that's it, I'll catch you soon, have a good one.